So, hello there everyone and welcome, it is Aaron here, and today it is time for to bring you a very interesting video indeed, because since the dawn of football games being a thing within the gaming sphere, there's always been one question: Pro Evolution Soccer or FIFA? Well, today I'll be hoping to answer that question for you, certainly for this year's games anyway. Both of them are going to be coming out very soon. You've got FIFA 19 coming out at the end of September. Pro Evolution Soccer, I believe, is coming out before that. The demo for that game is already out and available to use. Now, obviously, this is a career mode channel, mainly, so I'm going to be mainly focusing on both of the offline career mode-esque aspects of the game. I'll touch upon maybe the Ultimate Team side of it very briefly, but I will talk about the gameplay, because obviously that's another big factor when it comes to a career mode. You want to be able to have fun on the game, and you want it to actually be enjoyable and not too clunky, and all of that good stuff as well. So we're going to be talking about all of those factors. If you go on to enjoy the video, slap a like on it, and of course subscribe if you are new to the channel. Now, obviously, back in the day, Pro Evolution Soccer was a massive competitor against FIFA. You look back at the likes of PES 6, PES 5 was also very good. Even the 2007 and 2008 editions of Pro Evolution Soccer were very good indeed. But since then, it's lost its way. FIFA has accelerated massively in front of it. Honestly though, PES 6 blew FIFA 6 out of the water, and because of that, FIFA came back and it blew them out of the water with an incredible career mode on FIFA 07. And since then, around that time, there's a bit of a rivalry back and forth and improved both of the games. And what you'll find here is that the lack of competition, for FIFA coming from PES is causing issues for both game titles. But in terms of the gameplay, first of all, before career mode, as far as PES is concerned, the graphics are so much better. We all know that anyway. You know, the way the face scans work, the players look so much more realistic and like their real-life counterparts than on FIFA. Don't get me wrong, the graphics on FIFA are really good as well. They've come a long way, especially in the last 5 or 6 years with the new game engine and obviously stepping onto the next-gen consoles. But PES blow FIFA out of the water with like head scans and graphics and stuff. Everything looks so much more pristine and like real life on PES. It's really impressive actually. So on that front, they've definitely got the graphics side of the gameplay nailed in comparison to FIFA. The stadiums and the cutscenes look better. You know, you've got players walking out onto the pitch. It just looks more like you're watching it on the TV. And it's the same with the celebrations as well. When a player scores, it's like you're watching it on Sky Sports. You know, sometimes with with FIFA, when you score, you follow the player running, but and then when they start celebrating, it's a bit more of a close-up, but it doesn't really feel like it would on TV when you've got players running up to the cameras and all that sort of stuff and kissing the camera lens and all that jazz. It doesn't really feel like you're watching it on TV, but it does on PES. So the animations and stuff like that so much better on PES. Even the animations of headers and volleys and shots and passes and saves from the goalkeepers. There's so much more variety in the animations that you get on PES as well, which I quite like. The only thing that's an issue with the actual gameplay is how clunky it is, man. It's so it's almost like it's not circular direction. Like, you can't go in any direction you want to on PES. It's almost like you can only travel in 8 different directions, like up, down, left, right, and then diagonally. It's just too clunky. If they could make it more fluid in the way that FIFA does, the gameplay would be infinitely better. You can score better goals on PES as well. It looks almost more fun to play. It's just that clunkiness really holds it back. And obviously licensing is a major issue as well. You know, having so little in terms of leagues. They've lost the Champions League and Europa League rights now, to FIFA very recently as well. And even with the leagues they do have, you know, like the Premier League, they don't even have the proper licensing for most of the Premier League sides. So you don't even have licensing for the likes of Manchester United or I think you do have Arsenal, but you know, Chelsea and Tottenham, you don't have proper licensing for them and the proper kits and badges. As I mentioned, on FIFA 19 or on FIFA generally speaking, you know, the players move with a bit more fluidity. You've got infinite changes of direction rather than, you know, limited ones really when it comes to PES. It is almost like you can only go in 8 directions on PES, which is so frustrating. So many more leagues and licensing, but more effort maybe needs to be put into the graphics and head scans, or just better technology put into that when you compare it to PES. And of course, as I I mentioned, the celebrations and animations are probably a little bit lower in quality on FIFA than on PES. Overall, I still prefer the gameplay of FIFA 19, but it's so close. It's so close in terms of just to play. To look at, PES is miles ahead, absolutely miles ahead, but that slight clunkiness that PES has just limits it so much. If they can get that right, if they can make it a bit more fluid for the next game, easily PES has better gameplay. It's just that, really. It's just, I don't know, it just feels a bit annoying to actually play sometimes. To look at, though, it's brilliant in comparison. Obviously, with the fact that FIFA has stagnated a little bit this year, from all aspects, to be honest with you, a lot of people are saying, should we just go over to PES? Should we move over? And to be honest with you, it's a good game, and PES is a good franchise. I personally do prefer FIFA, but it would definitely be worth your while going out and getting PES this year and then comparing it for yourself, especially if you're a career mode fan, because career mode has been neglected seemingly so far this year. So I'm now going to compare career mode on FIFA 19 with its Master League counterpart over on Pro Evolution Soccer. The problem is, as far as FIFA is concerned, a lot of people are getting frustrated because the game mode hasn't changed that much. If you move over to the PES community, it hasn't really changed that much over there either. Master League has been getting minor tweaks here and there every year, but overall, they're neglecting that as well for the cash cow that is the Ultimate Team comparison, or My Club, over on PES. It's a sad state of affairs because both titles are going for a similar approach of going for the online factor over the offline, which is really where they gain the majority of their fan base in the mid-thousands. So over on PES, minimal changes this year, as I mentioned. Looking at the menus between PES 19 and PES 18, I think there's been some changes to the menu layout, I think, but overall the actual features are pretty limited. The transfer system on that game is so strange. It's a lot more realistic on this year's game, supposedly, according to Konami, but you'd have some really odd and just completely unrealistic transfers happening on previous versions of PES on Master League in comparison to FIFA's career mode. Youth academies are a mess, there's no Champions League anymore. But on the positive side of things, team roles that affect performance are a really good idea that they have on PES, where if a player has a certain characteristic, like a bad boy or a superstar, it affects the players around them and then how they perform on a pitch. So Mario Balotelli, for example, is a bit of a bad boy. That reduces the chemistry of the team overall. So you take the risk, obviously, of having him. He's got great potential and is a very good player in his own right, but he actually decreases the ability maybe, or has a negative effect on the morale of the rest of the side, and keeping that balance on and off the pitch is a nice element. And on top of that, the fact that there is team chemistry, just generally speaking, is a nice factor. It's in Ultimate Team over on FIFA, but for some reason it hasn't really been implemented into career mode before, even though it would really be a nice addition. You know, if you had a chemistry system where you bring in new players, you bring in a host of new players, the chemistry is really low because none of them have ever played together. Or if you bring in a new formation, the chemistry decreases because it's something that the players have got to get used to in the style that you play, or stuff like that would be really cool. Or even if you had an abundance of nationalities in your team, the language barrier might then decrease the chemistry of the overall side. Stuff like that is taken into account, I believe, on PES, so it is nice to see that. That's a definite positive, but all the negatives on PES are massive positives on FIFA. Youth academies, although could be improved upon massively in terms of the name pool and just how they work, you know, with under 21 teams, that'd be great. They're so much better than on PES. The transfer system is so much better than PES. The only thing I would say is that the presentation of PES's Master League is a little bit better, with press conferences and cutscenes here and there, but even those are starting to leak into FIFA these days on career mode as well, so it's a tricky one. Overall, career mode on FIFA, though, is a much more complete package. You know, international management as well, training is a little bit slicker and a little bit better, growth and potential works a little bit better than over on PES as well. It is, unfortunately, despite the fact that it's stagnated so much, far superior to PES, and the fact that it has no licensing that game as well is such a frustrating factor. If you don't care about that, then it's great. You know, the gameplay's on par. Master League's a little bit down in comparison to career mode, but they're at least comparative. But the licensing for me just makes it a massive issue. I don't know, personally, I would say that career mode is better than Master League. If you're looking at gameplay and how it looks on its own, then I'd probably say PES, if you're just looking at aesthetics, how it works and how it plays, and then the career mode, I'd probably say FIFA. But if you don't really care about playing the game and you want a good career mode, I'd choose neither of them. Just go out and get a Football Manager, guys. Honestly, it's so much better. I think overall, forgetting about Football Manager, the overall question, its answer is probably that FIFA career mode still reigns superior over Master League, despite the fact that both have stagnated across the course of recent years. Let me know though what you guys think down in the comment section below. Are you going to be getting both of these games? And if so, are you going to be trying out both career mode and Master League? Let me know what you think of them down in the comment section. Which one do you prefer? If you enjoyed that video though, slap a like on it, and of course subscribe if you are new to the channel. It's the big red button under the video and it really helps me out. You can also follow me on social media these days too. Both my Twitter and Insta are at the official FNG, and links are down below. But it's been a pleasure ranting at you guys today. Have a great day, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.